have my Mod Podge, which is just glue and water mixed. Yours came in a little tube. I have a paintbrush. I have my wood block. I pulled my string out of it so that I could work on the project, and then when it's all done and dry, you can put the string back on. So we're going to get started by cutting out our pictures, okay? So you should have had 2 pictures sent home if you emailed or texted your teacher the 2 pictures of yourself. You have a picture without a mask and a picture with a mask. And I'm using Señorita Garcia's. So I want you to cut out the one with the mask really, really nicely. Do you see that? I'm cutting it out really nicely, staying on the line. And then I have my picture. Okay, put this one to the side so that we can work on that one next. The first thing that we want to do, boys and girls, I will give you a couple of seconds. I know Miss Prince is going a little fast. To do next is to take some of your glue that's mixed with water. We call that Mod Podge, and I want you to put it on your paintbrush, and you're just going to paint the wood. You see that it's kind of getting darker? And you're just going to put a little bit on there. Cover the whole piece. And if you tilt it to the side, you can see it's shiny. Do you guys see that? That's how you can tell if you missed any spots. And once you have it on there, you want to take your picture and put it right in the middle. If you put it on there and you notice that you need to trim the picture up a little bit and you have a grown-up there, that would be best if they helped you. You can choose whatever side that you want each picture to be on, but you just push the picture and hold it. So the glue sticks to the picture. And just keep holding, because at first when you push on it, it looks like it's going to lift up, so just keep pushing. Okay, I'd kept my fingers on it for a pretty long time, and now it's not coming off. Do you see that? If yours is coming up, maybe you need a little bit more glue, and then just hold the picture down. Okay, so this is the step that we're going to stop right now. Do you see how it's still shiny? That means it's not dry yet. So we left little breaks in between so that we could do a go noodle before we go to the next part, okay? So as yours is drying, I'm going to turn on a go noodle. You tilt it, you'll notice, if you tilt it, you'll notice that it's not shiny up here anymore, so that means it dried. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So, now you're going to take your glue again, and you're going to go over everything, the whole picture. You guys see that? And it's going to dry clear, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't have the picture.
Did you have your mom or dad send it to me?
I had it on it.
Okay. Okay, no worries. So what we can do is if you guys didn't get your picture today, make sure that it gets sent and we will put it in your packets next week, okay? Or if you're coming into the school, we can get your packet sent, okay? So as long as you guys get the picture sent over, we can still print them out for you guys next week. Sound good? Or if you have a picture at home, you can always use one of those. So it's super shiny again. Do you see that? I covered the whole thing. Okay. So we need to let this dry for a second time. You guys still have another picture without a mask to do on the back. So let's let this one dry. I'm going to do a read aloud this time, and then when this side is dry, we'll get started on the other side. If it's still wet and we run out of time, all you have to do is watch this video. Remember the steps. You take the Mod Podge, you cover it, you stick the picture to it, and you hold it down so it sticks to it. Then we let it dry, and then you put more Mod Podge on top of it, on top of the picture just like this, and then you let it dry, okay? So we're going to do a quick read aloud, and then I will get us started on the other side if this side's all dry, okay? And it looks like it's drying pretty quickly. All right. Making sure that we're staying really, really careful on the lines. So we have a nice square. And all we're going to do is just do the same exact thing on the other side. Now, if yours is still wet and you want to let it dry and you just want to watch me do the other side, that's okay. I'm just going to show you how you can hold it and not let it hit the ground or the table when you glue the next side. So I'm going to take my glue again, and I'm going to just cover this side. If it gets on my fingers, it just washes off super easily. Again, if this is too tricky for you and you would rather wait, then that's okay. You can just watch how to do the other side. It's the same as this side. If you get glue in this hole, I'm going to tell you now, you can take something to poke it through so that you can still hang your ornament. So I'm looking to make sure it's shiny all over. You see that? Making sure I put enough of it on there so the picture sticks. And then when I put my picture on here, did you see that I made sure the hole was on top of the picture? I didn't glue it sideways. So when I do this side, I want to make sure that the hole is still on the top when I put my picture down. So I'm just going to set it on there. And I'm just going to be really careful about pushing down on the picture. Okay, and I'm just going to hold it again. And we just have to be really patient with this because it just takes a little bit of time for that paper to stick to the glue on the wood. as we are waiting for this to dry, I want to remind you about show and tell after this, okay? At 10 o'clock, we'll do calendar, and then we'll go into 2 breakout rooms. So you'll either be with me or you'll be with Miss Cheatham, and we'll do show and tell. If you want to show this, that is totally fine. You don't have to, though, because I know that some of you don't have these right now. You don't have your picture. What's that? Show and tell is at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. So, whatever you're wanting to show today, make sure you have it ready. Do you see that I just keep pushing on the picture and now it's starting to stick to it? That's what we're looking for. So, at first the picture's kind of like, oh, I don't want to stick to the wood, but you just keep pushing on it and then it stays. Okay. I want to look over here. This side's almost dry. Do you guys see how the shininess is starting to go away? It's almost dry, but it dries nice and clear so your picture looks really good. All right, I'm going to take my glue now and go over the top of this picture now that it's stuck to all the sides. When you are setting this somewhere to dry, I want you guys to see if maybe you could hang it on something or set it like this to dry so that you can let both sides of your piece of wood dry. Okay? So ask for a grown-up to help you find a good place, or maybe older brother or sister to help you find a good place for this to dry. Okay? So I have the glue all over it and it's going to dry now. I want you guys to go back to this side later when you guys are doing this at your house. Or if you're choosing to right now, because we do have a little bit of time before our next class, we're going to do a second coat on here. So we're going to go over it again. It's almost all the way dry. It's just a little bit shiny. So we're going to go one more time, and that's just going to help the picture stick even better. Okay? If you happen to run out of the Mod Podge, it is just school glue, Elmer's glue mixed with water. So if you run out and you want, or if you decide you want to do something like this for family gifts, it's just Elmer's glue mixed with water. So see, I went back over this side and I did it one more time to make it extra shiny, but it's going to dry nice and clear. And I can go back over and see that this side is starting to dry, but it is still wet, boys and girls. So when you are setting this somewhere to dry, think about how you can set it upright so that both sides can have a turn to dry, so it's not flat on the table. So maybe you want to set it next to something like this, like I have my cup. Let's see if you can. There we go. And we can just kind of let it balance. Find somewhere at your house, get creative, and see if you can set it up like that so it has a chance to dry. If you just want to hold it and let it dry, that's okay too. You guys have a little bit of time before calendar and show and tell. So this is what they're going to turn out like, boys and girls. You have a little Christmas tree ornament to hang on your tree at your house. So I would say don't hang it yet because it's still wet, but we sent home some string for you to put through the hole, and then you can tie it, and then you can hang it up on your tree. So this was our gift that we sent home for you guys to work on with your family. And again, if you didn't get your picture sent to the school in time, or if for some reason you don't have it, please let us know today so we can get that figured out and we can get a new one printed off and we'll send it next week, okay? Does anyone have any questions or comments?